Sit back, relax, put your belt on, enjoy the show.
With that, let's move along to the second game. Huge. This is going to be a huge win for Australia, this game. The Waratahs taking on the Hurricanes.
Isn't that the Sun-Tars?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yep. No, the Waratahs. Oh, sorry. Yep. No, I got that wrong. I meant a big win for New Zealand. But it is. It's a battle of the bottom. Bottom of both tables, the Tars and the Hurricanes. Can the Hurricanes show how much worse the bottom of the Aussie table is in this one? I suspect so.
Yes.
Yeah, look, we see the return of Will Harrison, but off the back of Donaldson's form, we see Will Harrison come onto the bench, which, look, honestly, I think is the right decision. Carlo Tizzano is, yeah, Harry, I think it is. I think Donaldson's done enough. Harrison's been out for quite a few weeks now. He needs to earn his way back into this starting side. And I think that's a positive thing for the Waratahs moving forward, having some competition in that 10 jersey. I think Donaldson, in his 2 starts, has done very well. I mean, I'm okay if they both get 40 minutes. I'm not that fussed. I'm okay if Harrison comes in and we see Donaldson fill another role. I mean, Maddox hasn't been impressing me that much. I'd happily flick one of the other wingers. We don't need to name who it is. Chuck Maddox onto the wing, give Donaldson or Harrison a chance at fullback.
No, I disagree. We do need to name who it is because I can tell you it's not Marky Mark Nwangani Tawasi. So it's Alex Newsom. Flick him, put Donaldson to 15. Will Harrison starts at 10. It's not that hard. It's just not that hard.
Yeah, but Harry gives one shake of the head and Nelson goes off on a 2-minute explanation of why Ben Donaldson should start ahead of
Honestly, Harry and I are on very level thought processes here. My thought is that this is a stepping stone to what Harry and I want to see. Newsom gone out of this 23 week to week. But you can't push Donaldson to 15 this quick. We need to give him the start and then give him
mate, you put Donaldson on the bench, mate. The bench.
Will Harrison is your starting franchise 10, mate. You don't do anything. No team ever goes well when they rotate their 10s. No team.
The Highlanders have done poorly.
Speaking of franchise players and not playing, Nani Lamape for the Hurricanes. The minibus has been left in the depot, if you will.
Can you call him a franchise player when he is signed to go to another franchise in another competition?
That's what a host does now. So I was leading you into that perfect point just there. And no, Geordie Barrett is clearly the franchise player. But yes, continue. He has signed. Where did he sign with, Nels?
He signed in France. Harry, do you know where it is?
Yeah, not off the top of my head. Thank you.
Look, the hospital pass.
Scarlets?
Look, I'm not going to listen to you, Harry. Look, he's gone overseas.
Like the coaches, we don't care where he signed. We just dropped him because it's not with us. So,
and we've been told he's not dropped because of that. Bullshit.
But they said rotation.
Yeah. Rotate. You don't rotate out your entire centre pairing built into one man for a match unless you go, well, it's the Sun-Tars.
I was going to say, although because it's the Waratahs, you could actually run you could have your kids' team run out or something, you know what I mean? Or at least the Hurricanes Hunters if you had to.
An important thing for anyone that's been paying attention, TJ Perenara has signed. He is returning to New Zealand Rugby. It was all nonsense about the Roosters. No one likes league. No one's ever going to sign over there when you've got the better opportunity to stay in rugby. It was just to try to get more money, but he will not be available for the Hurricanes unless there is injuries that can permit him coming into this side, which is an interesting one for me because the Waratahs have had Raboni Warren Vasse-Arthol coming in. He signed at the end or just at the back end of Super Rugby AU. We've now seen TJ Perenara sign after the competition finished or in the week of the grand final. So I don't know how they draw the line there in terms of who's allowed to play and when that is. But, I mean, I'm happy not to see him, to be fair.
It's pretty simple. They say someone needs to get injured. Well, look, they'll be getting the whole B team just to they'll be like, boys, we're going to do a run it straight. It's called all the halfbacks that aren't TJ are going to run at our biggest players again and again and again. TJ's playing this week. Sorry, boys, we're in.
Lemape is not playing this week because he needs his energy to hurt some of the other players in training during the week.
Correct.
Simple as that.
He is needed elsewhere. That's very good.
We also have the wing pairing. We've got Rayasi on one wing, Sevilla on one wing. So we're not seeing them shift back and forth. There's no Hussein at all in this side. So, look, I'm interested to see how these two guys go. Rayasi's been really, really solid. He decided he wanted to stay, not chase that sevens dream, which is a really big call from a player of his caliber. And it's awesome to see him sticking around. Sevilla, I think, has been pretty solid as well.
I can't wait to see Marky Mark and Newsom not tackle those two.
Oh, mate.
But on that, can you guys believe that? I was very surprised that Ray Arcee didn't sign, just because he hasn't been given a start every week, but also he's staying because he wants to play for the Hurricanes and try and make a claim for the All Blacks. But I thought for sure Caleb Clark was going to stay, spoilers, and Nanai Saturo and Ray Arcee would be off. But no, Caleb Clark, the incumbent All Black 11, he is heading off for the Olympics, and Ray Arcee's staying. It's a huge call, I think, from Ray Arcee.
Yeah, look, we won't get too much into it. I think he's not been in the form this year that he was last year, and this is probably a refresh for him, a reset. And I think
Ray Arcee?
No, sorry, Clark.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Clark's been to the same level as he was last year, and I think this is the right decision for him. Take a bit of time away from Super Rugby Trans-Tasman. I don't think it's needed for him at the moment. He will return and try to stake his claim for the All Blacks.
I guess, would first All Black test this year, would Caleb Clark be a starting left winger, or would you be looking at someone like George Bridge or someone else?
Honestly, he wouldn't be.
I'd still pick it personally. He was that good in the test last year. I'd pick it there.
I'm picking my boy every single time on the wing. Oh, you
Who's that, Harry?
know who my boy is, don't you?
Sever Reese, is that who you can say?
Yeah,
Newsom?
Of course he is. Yeah. No,
He's on the other wing, son.
He's
But
Caleb Clark and George Bridge bundled into one player.
Yeah, look, I mean,
all right.
That's fair. Let's stick to the game, boys. Let's stick to the game. We've got James Ram injured, so we've got Mark Nwanganita-Wasi coming into that left wing. We've all been keen. We wanted to see more of him throughout the year. We know his defense is dodgy, but he's got attack. That's what separates him from Newsom. He actually does something on the field. He's not just bad at defense and bad at attack like Newsom is. So at least we have one attacking threat out wide. What else do we have, boys? Dempsey, he was close to returning. He's not back. We've still got Will Harris. I'm a fan of Will Harris. Fosse Artho, again, another guy who's supposed to be available next week with Dempsey. Tizano's been given the rest. Absolute workhorse for the Tars. Hopefully it means we see Charlie Gamble itching and ready to go for the Waratahs. I do think he's a good player. Harry thought he was going to get the shout over Tizano pre-season. So, I mean, we've got a bit of faith in him. That's not a long time that's passed.
I think they're definitely taking a gamble here because Tizano does make about 50% of that team's tackles. So it's like, well, we don't really need to make any tackles against the Hurricanes. I guess it's fine.
This is a stat for you. He has made the most tackles, and I think it's by a long way. Then the closest was Newsom with about 3 all season.
Don't read that stat out, mate. You could have skipped that part there.
Yeah. He's also made the second most runs, as far as I heard, for the Tars. I think behind Maddox. How ridiculous
When you
is that?
say as far as I heard, to both Harry, I, and the listeners, that means I'm making this up.
No, I'm pretty sure I heard it on a good, trustworthy Aussie Super Rugby pod.
Okay, all right, very good. And look, the last one for me on this game before we tip it, this is the Hurricanes and the Waratahs. For me, this really comes down to, is it fair to say, from a fantasy perspective, this is Angus Bell versus Geordie Barrett? That's what this game comes down to.
I'm taking Bell all day.
There's not a whole lot of fantasy players that are going to be in people's teams in this one. But
if it's Bell versus Geordie, Bell can run. Geordie cannot scrum. I'm backing Bell all day.
All right, let's do tips. Nels, what are you tipping?
Oh, mate, I'm going with my heart. I'm not going with my brain. I'm going to say the Tars to call a ridiculous upset. They're going to win by 2 points at the buzzer because there's a fluke. Is
this just so you can bet on the Hurricanes? Is that what this is?
No, because I already put my bet on all the Aussie teams win to 1-12. And Geordie Barrett's going to get injured in the first 3 minutes, which is what's going to help the Waratahs.
All right, Harry, some sense, please.
Hurricanes by 20.
Thank you. I was going to go big. You've just thrown me. Hurricanes by 21. Then I'm going to take the outlier. So, yes.
You boys are going to feel so silly. You're going to feel so silly.
Very. How good's 5 games of rugby though this week? I'm stoked. No buys. Oh yes.